Can't, honey, I got this program on here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Karen Butler here with Sheila Girl. Good morning, Christa.
Good morning, Karen.
How's it going today?
It's going really good. It's kind of surreal. We're here at what we are considering our last live of the year, right?
Crazy. I'm excited. I have to say, everybody, sorry for the puppies in the background. I'm sure y'all can hear them. Maybe Christmas we'll do one more live and we can bring a little puppy picture in. Everybody loves puppies on the holidays and everything. So, Christa, I really wanted to take a minute and talk to, hey, Sandra, good morning. Wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about safety. Not to bring down the holidays, because we all want to have a great holidays, but it's really important to remember safety, and safety goes into every aspect of our lives. But we know that a lot of your friends, and maybe even you, will have a firearm or some pepper spray or some other product of self-defense under your tree, or just recreation. And we want to make sure that everybody understands, what the responsibility is that comes with owning a firearm, particularly. Right, Christa?
Right. And, that's kind of where we started. When we jumped to live back in March, when things just halted in our country, we recognized the fact that we were not able to get on the road and share that message of safety. And with all of the new firearms owners across the country this last 9 months,
right,
that's kind of been our underlying theme. I mean, we've shared a lot of other fun stuff, but we started with safety. We're about safety, and we're going to finish this year off about safety. Whether, as Karen mentioned, you get something under the tree, maybe you've already made a purchase, maybe it is recreational, maybe it's a bow, because bow safety is just as important, right?
Correct.
And so we're going to make a quick focus on that this morning, because it is the foundation of what our original message was.
Right. Exactly. And it's really important. So we know all of you followers understand, but with every right, we all want to protect our Second Amendment rights, but with every right comes responsibility, civic responsibility to keep yourself safe and your neighbors safe. And part of that really is focused on safety. And I want to start, what first made me think of these lives is when my grandson was here. And all of these parents are going out and purchasing firearms, and there's kids in your home. And so we really need to focus on, first off, if you have a firearm in your home, let's make sure that it's inaccessible to your children. That is your responsibility. And people, I will tell you, there's a lot of people that have false perceptions about external mechanical safeties. That an external mechanical safety is a child deterrent, and it is just not so. And what I like to remind people is, if you just take a second and give a kid like the noisiest toy, like these puppies crying in the background, that would be a good noisy toy, right? And you can't stand it anymore as a parent. And so you go in and you find the little secret hidden compartment and you take that battery out, or you turn the little switch so that it can't make noise anymore, and you give the toy back to your kid. How long does it take your child to figure out how to turn that toy on? And they will find a way to get through any kind of external mechanical safety. So that is not your storage solution. If you have a firearm in your home, when it is not on your body or on your person in your GTM handbag, you need to have it stored where no one unauthorized can access it. And that's really the most important thing. No one unauthorized can access it. That means your neighbors, your friends, your kids' friends, anybody.
The contractors that you have in your house, right? Construction workers, family visits, holidays, all of those things.
That's all of those things, right? So let's start with that safe storage. And safe storage, is very important. So what's another safety tip, Christa, that we want to share with everyone?
Well, let's go back to the original actual 4 firearm safety rules.
Right.
And let's focus on those. So for those of you that are watching, whether you're watching live or in replay, maybe you know them, but that's not an excuse. All of us, every single one of us, whether we live in the firearms world 24/7 or we have one tucked away in a safe in the back room, we must reflect on those safety rules every single time we access it. So let's talk about those really quickly. Whether it's the NRA written rules or some other organization's words, it's still the same rules. And those rules start with always keep that muzzle or front of the firearm where the bang happens, where's my finger, pointed in a safe direction. And a safe direction is at something that you're not willing to destroy. And I add that disclaimer because we've worked and we've talked about dry fire practice and really using this time where you're at home and you can't go to work or you can't take a class to do the right things the right way to continue your training. And sometimes that might mean doing that dry fire where you hang a target on the wall, you verified your firearm's unloaded. You must know that safe direction and define it every single time you access your firearm. What's another one, Karen?
Yep. So we always want to keep our finger off the trigger until we are ready to shoot. And when I say off the trigger, so that means above the trigger guard. And so when I should have had a firearm here, but when you have a trigger, you're going to have a guard that comes off the frame and your trigger in here, right? You don't ever want your finger across here. The finger has to be up above the guard so that you're not anywhere in there. And that's really important. And you'll see it, like, as a matter of fact, I was laughing. I'm going to digress a minute and tell y'all a funny story. So Christa we haven't figured out how to do this, but I was watching a TV show last night. It was like one of those NCIS shows or something silly. And the police officer, woman police officer, had her firearm and she's aiming it at somebody. And she is in a standoff with the bad guy. She's a good guy. It's a bad guy. They're having a fire duel. And I am just like, oh, please don't squeeze that trigger because that firearm is going to hit you in the head because she didn't have it gripped properly. And so I just digress because we see on TV all of the time unsafe firearm practices. It's kind of ironic that the people that tell us to not have firearms are the ones that are using them in their television shows and showing us really the most ridiculous ways to use them, not appropriate. And so you always want to keep your finger off the trigger, and that means above that trigger guard. And a little trick that I use, if you have trouble getting your finger into the right spot every time, like if you're with me or a coach or an instructor and they're always telling you get your finger off the trigger, take one of those little felt little tabs that you can put on the bottom of like a little carpet thing or a little door stopper and put that tactile, just tape it to your gun. So it'll stick right to your gun where your finger's supposed to go so that you get a tactile experience with your firearm. And then every single time you know that that's my finger's home until I'm ready to shoot. Then I go back to my finger's home and that tactile experience will help you. So what's another one, Christa?
So treat every firearm as though it's loaded.
My
Period.
favorite.
End of story. Whether you're at our trailer and you're at our firearms counter where they're all deactivated, whether you're in our trailer using the simulator, whether you're at the range and you're learning about something with a toy, or not really a toy, but a rubber or plastic, solid plastic gun, whatever it is, all of those things all the way to you're ready to shoot. We always treat them as though they're loaded. And why do we do that? That means our brain's going to say muzzle in a safe direction and finger off that trigger. Everything that we reinforce, live fire or not live fire, helps us stay safe and secure, just us and our family and the friends around us when we do those things.
Yep, Lisa, it is very scary. I agree when you're around people that have unsafe shooting habits. And I will tell you that for the most part, the gun industry is very safety conscious. But if you're ever at a range and you see an unsafe gun habit practice, what do? Well, this is what we tell everyone in our situational awareness. Do we stay there and let someone keep flagging us? No. Go tell the range safety officer, go tell the management of the range that there's someone out there practicing unsafe gun habits. Or if you're uncomfortable doing that, then you must leave that range and go back another day when you're not next to someone that's practicing unsafe gun habits. But for the most part, the range, we women, sometimes we have a hard time. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to tell them that. No, we're not hurting their feelings. It's just a matter of fact. Practice safe firearm habits, or don't come shoot your gun here. And the management will appreciate that because they carry all of that liability for those dingbats that don't. That was a nice word I used. That don't, that don't practice great firearm safety. So that's one thing. So the last.
Can I add to that really quickly though, Karen, because we have so many followers that maybe they don't go to an actual public range or a structure that's made as a range with RSOs. As firearms owners and responsible firearms owners, it's our responsibility to speak up. If we're shooting next to our family members because it's our Christmas afternoon activity, or we go out and going to sight in a rifle with a group of friends, we must, as responsible firearms owners, communicate the safety rules and enforce them. It's part of our responsibility. We don't need necessarily an RSO to do that for us.
Correct. And Carol, I love that. You can't take it back. Once that projectile leaves your firearm, you cannot take it back. The bullet is out there. And that's what brings us to our last big firearm safety rule, which is always know your target and what's beyond, because we know that the bullet doesn't just stop at the paper and fall to the ground. It's going to go through it. The same thing with an arrow is going to go through it. So we have to know our target and what's beyond. And you have to think about that in terms of home defense as well. If you're going to ever employ your firearm for home defense, where do you have your children and your family members positioned where they're not in the way of a random firearm bullet, right? You've got to.
Right. It's a hard thing and something to really consider before it's 2:00 in the morning and the glass breaks, right? It's thinking, it's talking as a family, it's a communication, it's a home protection plan, it's staging and storing all of that. Hi, Casey. Is that Casey barking? But it's all a part of that responsibility. So whether you've been one of those many people that have added a firearm to your home since March, maybe you've always had firearms in your home, or maybe it's under the Christmas tree or in one of the presents you're going to be gifted. All of the firearm safety rules, safe storage, and that family education and plan. Don't just assume because the firearm is yours that no one else in the home should not know about it. Everyone needs to understand it.
Right.
Right?
And the last thing that I want to really stress on firearm safety is we still have our link out there. We'll find it and put it on this feed, but please have a conversation with your children about firearm safety. One of my very favorite things to do when we're on the road is sit and talk to children about firearm safety. And we have so many people buying firearms for the first time, and it's not that they don't care, it's just that they don't know. And so you need to have a conversation with your children, whether you have firearms in your home or not, so that if they go to a home with firearms and their friends try to get them to come look at the cool new gun that looks just like the Fortnite gun, that you have had that conversation with your children so that they know what they're supposed to do. It's really, really important because I'll tell you, as we've traveled across the country, we've done a great job of educating lots of families on firearm safety. And it is just extremely. The garbage guy's here.
Of course, it's garbage guy. So really, what Karen just said, and some of you have been in our trailer this year. I see names that I recognize, and we are so grateful that you followed us and have joined us at the trailer. But that trailer training that we do, that time that we spend with you and your family, we find that the most important, right? We've seen more families since March of 2020. Husbands, wives, children, mothers, grandmothers, sisters, siblings, brothers, it doesn't matter. Every single one of them have come to the trailer. And so we do some incredible one-on-one group trainings right there at the firearms counter that we can help you with education for you and for your children and everyone else that lives in your home. Karen, there you are.
I had to wait and let the garbage guy go by. You guys, you can't make this up. I know we really appreciate all of you followers because we're just real. We're not trying to be fake here. This is it. I want to say, Christa, because we're at our 15 minutes and I think we've covered quite a bit about firearm safety. We had training a couple weeks ago that Christa organized for us on the pepper spray, and the gentleman, John, that was teaching the training. Right.
Chuck Haggard.
Chuck Haggart, thank you. He said, reset your safety awareness. And as we go into the holidays and everything gets rushed, I guess what I'd like you all to do, because of everything he taught us in the class, and I took away a ton, but that to me was the most important thing, because it's really easy to get complacent and comfortable in our surroundings. And if we reset our safety awareness, we can make sure that we're taking time to observe the things around us that might not be right, and protect ourselves from being the next victim of a human trafficking event, or the victim of a violent crime, or the victim of a crazy protester that doesn't know how to shoot a gun. Like all of those things. That was one of our comments. When all of those things are really important. And so I beg you, for us, for Christmas, please reset your safety awareness and protect yourselves. Don't be paranoid, but be cognizant of your surroundings and take appropriate actions to avoid a situation that you don't feel comfortable in. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Christa, because I know we got some house planning, but y'all, this has been an incredible, incredible year for us. It's been, I'm going to get a little emotional, but it's been more monumental for us than we ever imagined. And, I started Shoot Like a Girl in 2008 because I wanted women to feel the confidence that comes from aiming at their target and hitting it. But this year, that impact has been so much more condensed to families, I guess is the best word. And so, in my mind, more important than it's ever been. And we just appreciate your support so much, and the support of our corporate partners. And I'm not going to go into a big advertisement, but y'all, we can't do this without our corporate partners. If you can imagine, it's quite a lot of money to move a semi-tractor trailer and 6 human beings down the road for 21 shows a year, 50,000 miles or whatever it is. It's a lot. And we don't charge our clients a thing, and we never will. We're not going to ask you to join a membership, pay a fee, anything, because we want to provide a service to you. And we can't do that without our corporate partners, and we certainly can't do it without followers like you that really support what we do, and believe in our mission of empowering women with confidence. You all are the best, and I'm going to turn it over because I think Krista's got some house cleaning, and I know she wants to close out the year and say something nice too, but I do think we'll have to come back with the puppies next week sometime.
So, we've talked about maybe throwing an extra live in here, an extra special live, and maybe we need to spend a little more thought behind that, because we do have some things coming, right? We've got a big, big year for 2021. We can't say anything, but it's a big year. And exactly, right? And so we have a big year coming in 2021. And when Karen and I sat down yesterday and talked, it's 6 weeks out before our first show. That's a blink of an eye. So
Fort Myers, Florida, y'all.
That's Fort Myers, Florida. So you have to check out our events, see where we're going to be. We'd love to see you. On that note, we've got a winner from last week, right? So we've been doing live winners with every show. Thank you for all of you who've been so patient with some of the mailings, whether they were coming from us or our partners that donated. And we will do a follow-up at the end of the year to make sure everybody's received their product. But last week we had David Partridge with Bass on, right? He has the Toyota Tundra that's decked out like a bass fish. And he had a giveaway of the remote control car version of that Bass on truck. So Kelly Purdon Batherwich, you're the winner of that truck from our Shoot Like a Girl Live. But if you didn't win, it's okay, because you can actually go to Bass Pro Shops and buy one. It'd be a great fun thing for under the tree, or as a gift for someone, whether you're young or old, to play with, right? So congratulations, Peggy. Kelly Purdon Batherwich. We will contact you to get your mailing address, and David Partridge will send that directly to you. It doesn't come from us. The last thing I want to close with, because yes, we're way over our 15 minutes, is we are pre-thinking 2021. And one of the things that we've discussed is, what is the best time for our lives? They will still happen. We're going to still be here, whether we're all back at work or not. We're going to be here in the comfort of your home, on your cell phone, while you're taking your lunch break. We don't know if you're watching live or through replay. We're not sure what time of day or day of week would be best. So we're going to kind of take a survey from you, our followers, and see what you think. We can't make everyone happy, and we'll pick what's best. But we would like to welcome you, blah, 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 right? Like to welcome you to comment the day of the week and the time of day that would be a perfect scenario for you. We'll see what happens.
Yes, please. You guys, we really love you. And you guys have a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate that. All of the
you're right in the middle of Hanukkah right now, I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, Christa, thank you so much. It's always great seeing you on these Facebook Lives. You all have a wonderfully blessed day. See ya.
Bye.